Today we are all wearing orange shirts to honor the 150,000 children that attended residential schools. September 30th was chosen as the date because it was the time of year children were taken from their homes, families, and communities and sent to residential schools.
From the 1880s until the last school shutdown in 1996, Canada's residential school system forced about 150,000 First Nation, Inuit, and Métis children to attend church-run facilities that aim to kill the Indian in the child.
Every child matters.
Orange Shirt Day is named for the bright orange shirt given to 6-year-old Phyllis Webstad by her grandmother in 1973, which she wore to her first day at St. Joseph Mission Residential School in Williams Lake, BC.
The school administrator took that shirt from her and she never saw it again. Phyllis was just a 6-year-old kid. She didn't know that being born an Indigenous child surrendered her to an education system that would break down her identity.
Phyllis said in a statement once that the color orange has always reminded her of how she didn't matter and how no one cared about her. September 30th has been declared Orange Shirt Day annually in recognition of the harm that residential schools did to the children's sense of self-esteem and well-being.
The students often faced widespread neglect and abuse in the schools. Students had their hair cut and also their belongings taken. They also had their names replaced with numbers. Children were stripped from their culture and their identity.
Children could not speak their own language, practice their own religion, and often would not see their families for long periods of time. And if they broke the rules, they would be given harsh punishments, such as the leather strap, starvation, or being locked in closets, cages, or basements. Sometimes they were also the victims of sexual abuse.
On September 30th, 2013, Phyllis Webstad organized the first Orange Shirt Day in Williams Lake to acknowledge the harm that Canada's residential school system has left in generations of Indigenous families and their communities. She is now using her experience to fight racism and bullying by encouraging people across Canada to wear an orange shirt as a sign of support under the motto, "Every child matters."
We weren't connected when we were younger, and I am proud to be part of Canada. Now we can have these conversations and be honest about how things occur, said Phyllis. For years, this sad legacy in Canadian history was ignored, but now it's slowly becoming part of our school curriculum.
In 2008, 12 years after the last residential school closed, more than 150 years after they were founded, the Government of Canada issued an apology to the Aboriginal community for their treatment in residential schools.
Canada's legacy is part of our collective history, and we continue to learn on this journey towards reconciliation. Wearing orange and learning about residential schools is a way to show that our school and community is committed to carrying the responsibility of empathy, tolerance, and reconciliation.